Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're talking about sewing buckskin. Maybe you've tanned a few deer hides, other animal hides, and you're not quite sure how to start putting them together. I'm gonna go over both some primitive tools and some more modern tools. It can be intimidating to get started with skins that you've put so much time into tanning, going through all those steps, let alone the fact that you may have hunted this animal. Maybe you salvaged it as a roadkill, and now you have to think about making cuts, sewing, not wanting to mess it up. I'm gonna go over my experience and what I've learned. This is the first buckskin shirt that I've made. I brain tanned 2 deer in Oregon, smoked them really thoroughly, and then used a few simple steps to join them together. Instead of sewing these skins together with needle and thread or a sewing machine, I used an early hide working tradition known as leather lacing. I chose this method so that I could make my entire garment out of buckskin, which would be both strong and soft against my skin. I had no pattern to trace onto my hides, so I simply draped one over my back, then trimmed it to a shape that felt nice, leaving a little extra around the edges to work with. Then I gradually trimmed away the second buckskin to cover my chest. This really wasn't rocket science. It was pinning them together with safety pins, feeling the fit, snipping off loose areas, then repinning to test their fit. An awl is a sharp, pointed tool for piercing holes in leather. I decided to play around with some primitive awls for the next step of this project. Here I've got an agave spine, a sharpened deer antler, and a sharpened deer bone fragment. I know that agave spines have been traditionally used for sewing, but after trying to force this spine through buckskin, I'm convinced they were only used on woven fabrics. Deer antler is very durable, but my experience showed me it's hard to shape antler into an awl that's actually sharp enough to pierce buckskin. Though deer bone feels like it's going to fracture when I push it, it actually stayed together and was sharp enough to pierce good holes. Findings like this are valuable. If I want to make cutting tools in the wilderness, I'll be looking for bone instead of wasting time working with antler. As metallurgy advanced, humans increasingly replaced these organic piercing tools with metal ones. And I'll say, after pushing roughly 50 holes around the edge of my seam, I could see why people rapidly adopted metal awls. You may be thinking, why not just use a knife? Well, knives cut really well in one direction, but when piercing, they tend to cut holes that are bigger than necessary. With no awl, I prefer to go with a sharp nail for this process. They're easy to find and easy to use. Once I've pierced my holes, I'm ready to lace my buckskins together. But first, I need to create lace from a hide. This is a fun technique where I trim a narrow strip of lace all the way around the edge of a hide. Then, when I return to my starting point, I continue cutting along this newly created edge, forming a spiral as I head towards the center of the hide. Most people don't have needles big enough to thread with leather lace, so the approach I've taken is to cut my lace with a point for easier sewing. By hitting the tip of the lace with a little flame, I can make it firmer. This allows me to work through little holes with much better control. If I'm sewing gear or clothing with woven fabric, I need to choose a strong stitch, like the back stitch. With hides, there's no weak threads to unravel, so simple lace stitches are really all I need to sew the seams of my buckskin shirt. This running stitch is as simple as it gets and does a fine job of holding the skins together. Stitches like the blanket stitch, which I often use for woven fabrics, work very poorly with leather lace. The lace refuses to lay flat and the seam comes out lumpy and loose. If I really want to secure an area, then yes, the back stitch will be very strong, but I found it's overkill for sewing a shirt together. And though I would not recommend the whip stitch for woven fabric, I find it's very appropriate for leather lacing. The whip stitch proved simple and effective in assembling the majority of my shirt. I've learned that buckskin is a material that stretches with use. It makes sense to have a simple stitch that's easy to remove when I'm ready to trim and re-sew it to fit my body. I'm tanning a few hides right now, and I will assemble them into some shorts, so stay tuned.
If you want to learn real survival and homesteading, check out my online classes and keep learning with that video on screen right now.